when was the last time Democrats won 3 consecutive U.S. Senate elections in each state? That's what we're going to find out today. We'll do a GOP video in the future, and I've already done this for governor, but we're going to find out what happened in the Senate. And I'm only going to go back as far as the direct election era. That's going to be about 1914. That's when senators were elected by statewide popular vote. And there are 2 senators per state, and this is going to factor in both of those classes. It's not going to just be one senator or the other. So at the top, I've got 10 tiers of shading. We're going to go by decade from the 2020s back to before the 1950s, and if any states have never done it. This is the kind of thing where you go back far enough in some of the data in some of these states, it becomes kind of difficult and debatable about what to include. I did not include special elections if it was the same day as the regular election, unless it was for the other Senate seat. So you could do it a bunch of different ways. If there is a mistake with the data, let me know down below in the comments. And before we get into it, which states do you think are going to be the lightest shade of blue? So let's get into this. 3 consecutive Senate wins. We've got the 2020s. A lot of states here. Let's just go west coast to east. We've got Hawaii, the West Coast, Washington, Oregon, California, then it's Nevada. Even in Arizona now, the Dems have won 3 in a row there. Then it's Colorado and New Mexico. After that, it's Minnesota. Then we've got Illinois, then Michigan, then it's Georgia. Then in the Northeast, New Hampshire, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and finally Virginia. All those states, the Dems have won 3 consecutive Senate elections. Now let's go back a little bit. We'll do the 2010s. We've got a couple of states with the same year. The streak was last kept going in 2012 in Montana and in West Virginia. Then we've got the 2000s decade. We've got 5 more states. Alphabetically, it's Arkansas, Louisiana, North Dakota, South Dakota, and in the Rust Belt, it's Wisconsin. They didn't all do it the same year, but they did do it in that decade. Let's go back to the 1990s. 2 more states, both of them in 1992. First, it's Alabama. Then we've got Ohio. Back into the 1980s. In 1988, there's 2 more states. It's Nebraska and Tennessee. Back in 1980, there's another nearby state. It's Kentucky. Then we've got to dip back into the 1970s. We've got more states. Alphabetically, we've got Florida, Indiana, Iowa. In the northeast corner, it's Maine. Then in the deep south, Mississippi. Finally, the former swing state of Missouri. All those states last either accomplishing it in 1974 or 76. We're running low on states. Let's go back into the 1960s. First, we've got Alaska. Dems actually did pull it off here in 1966. Then we've got a current purple state. It's North Carolina. Here you've got to go way back to 1968 to find the last time the Dems actually won 3 Senate elections. The last state here is Oklahoma. In 1966, that is going to include a special election. Into the 1950s now, we've got 2 more states. First, in 1956, it's South Carolina. Then in 1958, it's a big state. It's Texas. Now, we'll go back to before the 1950s. We've got 2 more states. First, it's a deep red state. It's Utah. 1944, that was the last time the Dems pulled it off. Then let's go back to 1940 and plug in Wyoming. It would have been 1958, but part of those years includes a special election. That was the same day as a regular election with the same senator. So I don't think that's good enough, so we've got 1940. Now, the remaining 4 states are going to be the lightest shade. The Dems have never done it in Idaho. That's not a surprise. What about Kansas? That's not a surprise either. The Dems have only ever won 3 Senate elections here, including 1 special. That's since the direct election era. What about the next state, Pennsylvania? This was a surprise, but apparently between the 2 Senate seats, the Dems have never actually been able to string together 3 consecutive Senate elections here in the direct election era. The last state is Vermont, and it's the same story. They have independent Bernie Sanders, but he's technically never won as a Democrat. And once you go back a few decades, this was actually a pretty red state. So again, in the direct election era, since 1914, Dems have never won 3 in a row here. And that completes the entire map. So more than half the states have done it within about the last 25 years or so. But then you've got about 10 states that haven't done it in the past 50 plus. And that includes 4 states where the Dems have never done it. 2 of those states probably surprising for a lot of people, especially Vermont, but also Pennsylvania. Those states have been around a long time. And maybe even more surprising, the Dems have done it so recently in Arizona and Georgia. Those states were pretty red in the Senate up until the last few elections. But in North Carolina, Dems haven't done it in a long, long time. It's also a little surprising they pulled off the feat in Alaska. That state is is newer, it's redder, but political ideologies can change. It also might be a little surprising how the Dems haven't done it recently in Maine either, but that also might include some independent candidates. But on the flip side, they've done it way more recently in Montana, North and South Dakota, and West Virginia. But the states in the South were solidly blue once you go back enough decades. So having success in 3 consecutive Senate elections, that's going to be with at least 2 different candidates generally across 6 years. So sustaining that kind of success takes a little bit of talent depending on the state and depending on the year. It'll be fun to see the same thing for the Republicans, but this is the map for the last time the Dems have won 3 consecutive U.S. Senate elections. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about all this data? There's a ton of it, but which states jump out to you the most? Are there any mistakes? Is there anything that's debatable? Let me know what you think down below. On your way out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join if you'd like to help support the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.